Have you ever had a moment when the entire foundation of your life cracked in an instant? That's what happened to me. One moment I thought I had a marriage built on love, trust, and years of shared dreams. And the next, I was staring into the hollow truth that it had all been a carefully maintained illusion. My wife Lisa wasn't just unfaithful. She wasn't simply sneaking around for fleeting thrills or careless mistakes. No, what she had was a calculated, full-blown affair with a man named Patterson. A lawyer, of all people. A man she thought was clever enough to cover their tracks, but arrogant enough to believe they'd never be caught. But I caught them. It started with little things. The late nights at work, the phone always turned upside down, the hushed texts followed by forced smiles. You know the signs. At first, I wanted to believe I was imagining it, that maybe I was paranoid, insecure, maybe even unfair. But deep down, the truth was gnawing at me. And once suspicion enters a marriage, it becomes a poison. I didn't confront her right away. No, I needed proof. I needed something undeniable, something that would tear through her lies when the time came. And so, I watched, I waited, I listened. It was hell. Nights of staring at the ceiling while she slept soundly beside me, wondering how much of my life had been a lie. And then the pieces clicked. A receipt for a hotel tucked into her bag. A whispered call she thought I couldn't hear. A lipstick stain on a shirt that wasn't mine. Every detail cut into me, but each detail also sharpened my resolve. This wasn't going to end with yelling, broken dishes, and hollow apologies. No! If she wanted to betray me so completely, then I would return the favor with a precision she'd never see coming. I didn't want violence. I didn't want chaos. I wanted something worse. Exposure. I wanted her to feel naked in front of everyone who mattered to her. So I made a plan. I played the part of the clueless husband. I smiled at dinners. I asked about her day. I tucked her in with a kiss while inside my chest burned like a furnace. And while she thought she was clever, sneaking off to meet Patterson, I was already weaving the net that would trap them both. I learned his schedule. I dug into his reputation. A lawyer, polished, respected, but that only made the fall I was planning even sweeter. The higher they sit, the harder the ground feels when they hit it. Then came the night. She said she was meeting a friend for drinks. I nodded, pretended to be distracted, and kissed her goodbye. But I didn't stay home. I followed. Quiet, patient, every move rehearsed in my head 100 times. They met at a hotel. Classy, discreet, a place that whispered secrets and offered privacy behind soundproof doors. I parked, waited, and when I saw them disappear inside together, my stomach twisted, but my mind stayed cold. This was the moment. I walked in calm, like I belonged there, like I wasn't about to shatter the illusion of their little world. My heart was a drum in my chest, but my face was stone. I knew exactly what I was about to do. I knocked on their door. Silence at first. Then shuffling, panic, whispering, and finally, Patterson cracked the door open, his face already pale. Behind him, Lisa scrambled, her eyes wide with horror, her voice trembling with pathetic excuses. Danny, it's not what it looks like. But it was. It was exactly what it looked like, and I had an audience waiting. Because here's the thing, I didn't just follow them. I didn't just gather evidence. I had arranged for people to see this, to know this, to make sure the story of Lisa and Patterson wasn't just ours, but everyone's. Neighbors, colleagues, friends, people who thought she was perfect, who thought we were perfect. They would see her for what she truly was. And Patterson? His reputation would burn before his own eyes. That was the plan. That was the beginning. And as I stood there in that doorway, with Lisa begging and Patterson shaking, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. Their lives were never going back to what they were before this night. This wasn't just confrontation. This was the first strike. The shock on their faces was everything I had imagined and more. Patterson stammered. Lisa broke into tears, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like the fool. I felt in control. But remember, humiliation was only step one. I didn't want a messy confrontation in a hotel room. I wanted permanence. I wanted their choices to echo in their lives long after the tears dried. So I smiled, calm and collected, and simply said, "Don't worry. Everyone will know the truth soon enough." Then I left. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I just left, letting the silence and their fear do the damage. The next morning, Lisa tried to play it down. She begged, she pleaded. She said it was a mistake, that she didn't know what she was thinking. Patterson, of course, stayed silent, a coward hiding behind his law degree. But I didn't need their words. I already had everything I needed. You see, I had been documenting. Photos, texts, receipts, phone logs, even audio clips of their conversations. Piece by piece, I had built a case that not even Patterson, with all his legal training, could wriggle out of. And I used it. First, I shared it quietly, with Lisa's family. People who always thought she was the perfect wife, the golden daughter. Watching their faces shift from disbelief to shame as they saw the evidence was almost poetic. Her own parents couldn't defend her. Then, I widened the circle. Friends, colleagues, people she respected. One by one, they all saw. They all knew. And as the whispers spread, the image Lisa had built for herself, the loving wife, the respectable woman, crumbled. And Patterson? Oh, he wasn't safe either. I knew his firm, his colleagues, his clients. I made sure the right eyes saw the right evidence. A lawyer caught in an affair with another man's wife doesn't scream professional integrity, does it? The higher his pedestal, the louder the crash. Lisa tried to fight back. She said I was cruel, vindictive, obsessed. She tried to spin the story, claiming I was twisting things, that I had set her up. But the evidence was too strong. And deep down she knew it. What hurt her most wasn't just the exposure. It was the silence. Because I never raised my voice. I never cursed. I never lashed out. I just let the truth sit there, undeniable, eating away at her carefully constructed life. The fallout was immediate. Invitations stopped coming. Friends stopped calling. At work, people whispered behind her back. Every room she walked into felt colder. Every smile felt fake. She was living in the shadow of her own choices, and I didn't need to lift a finger. But the real blow came later. I filed for divorce. It wasn't just about ending things. It was about making it clear that this was final, that there would be no second chances, no reconciliation, no working it out. She had made her choice, and now she had to live with it. When she realized I was serious, the begging returned. She promised to change. She swore it meant nothing. She said she still loved me, but I had no love left to give, only cold, hard resolve. And Patterson? His life unraveled too. Word got back to his firm, and suddenly he wasn't the golden boy anymore. Clients didn't trust him. His partners didn't defend him. And the man who once carried himself with arrogance now looked like a shell, worn down and broken. Some people ask me if I ever regretted it. If maybe I went too far. If maybe I should have just walked away quietly. But here's the thing. Betrayal cuts deep. It takes away not just love, but dignity, trust, and years of your life. And if you let it go unpunished, it festers. It eats at you. I chose not to let it. I chose to reclaim control. And in doing so, I taught both of them a lesson they'll never forget. When you play with someone's heart, you gamble with your own reputation, your own future. Lisa lives with the whispers. Patterson lives with the wreckage of his career. And me, I live free. Free of lies. Free of betrayal. Free of them. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't rage, or violence, or chaos. Sometimes the best revenge is simply letting the truth destroy them piece by piece while you walk away untouched. And that's exactly what I did.